Hi my angels and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a full-on review and wear test of the brand new foundation from KVD Beauty called Good Apple. I keep calling it Bad Apple. Literally have had to film this intro so many times because I've got the name of it wrong, but this is what it looks like. It's pretty much gone viral on every single social media platform going, and I also actually did a reel over on my Instagram and I really liked the way that it looked on my skin, so I thought why not do a full-on review video and wear test so I can really give you my honest thoughts on how this performs. So if you guys want to see a full-on demo and application and also my thoughts and a wear test, then please keep on watching. So I want to give you guys a full-on overview of what this foundation claims. It is £29 from Boots. There's 40 shades that it comes in. It's a buildable, full coverage, hydrating foundation balm with a light wear, long wear formula, and it's a fresh matte finish, and the packaging is also fully recyclable, which I love. It's infused with apple extract, which helps nourish the skin. This foundation also is supposed to help minimize the appearance of pores, and it is also supposed to give the skin a smooth, healthy look, plus it's non-comedogenic, I can never say that word. It's supposed to be non-cakey, flashback free, and it's supposed to help cover blemishes and discoloration for an instant confident boost. So in terms of how to use, it says that you can blend and build the desired coverage using either a beauty sponge or a dense foundation brush, and you use a patting motion for the fullest coverage, and you can also use it with your fingers to like spot conceal, and for oily areas they recommend to set it in place with some sort of setting powder. Now I actually did a reel over on my Instagram page where I tested this out just as like my first impressions, and I really liked the way that it looked. However, I applied it with this brush right here, which is the number 10 Kat Von D brush. I don't actually think it's officially called Kat Von D anymore. It's called KVD Beauty, but apologies if I keep calling it Kat Von D. But this is a super dense brush, and it's kind of like angled, so it's like thinner at this end. Now I personally don't really apply my foundations with brushes, so I'm going to be using my damp beauty blender to do this, and I actually used this shade medium 027 for my Instagram video, but I felt like it was a little bit too light, so instead I'm going to be using medium 033, and hopefully this will be a bit of a better match for me. So now that we've got all of that out of the way, I'm gonna prep my skin because I haven't done that already. I'm first gonna get some moisturizer onto my face. Get this nice and blended out, and as always I'm filming in natural daylight so you guys can see exactly what this looks like on skin. Hopefully that'll be as close to the naked eye as possible. So skin is nice and moisturized. When I wore this foundation I hadn't really moisturized properly, and I felt like it looked a little bit cakey around my mouth, and obviously because of the brush as well, that's why I wanted to go in with a beauty blender. I'm very quickly going to prime my skin as well. I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer here, and I'm just gonna get this all over as well. So this is what the foundation looks like. It is very shiny, and it is kind of like a balm texture. I kind of don't want to poke it yet, actually. This is what it looks like once you obviously start using it, but it's got a really nice like thick balmy consistency, and it does feel like a cream once you've like got it on your skin. But as you can see, that is like coverage. Like the coverage is just, it's crazy. So much pigment in there. I have not used this with a beauty blender yet, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this applies and how this lasts on my skin for the next 8 hours or so with my damp beauty blender. I guess now I'm just going to go straight into it and start getting this onto my skin. If you guys want to see what it looks like with a dense brush, then I will leave a link to my Instagram video in the description box below, but I guess I'm just going to go straight in to this guy with my damp beauty blender. I think I'm just gonna go squidge it in there. Look at that. Maybe I shouldn't have put that much on there, but it's okay. We're gonna roll with it. I suppose I'll do one half of my face first, and then we can just compare. I'm gonna get this onto one side of my face. I'm gonna bounce it in place and just make sure it's nice and blended, and then we can compare the two sides. This is what it looks like currently on my face. It is such full coverage. It doesn't feel like I've got anything on my skin, which is what I love. However, I feel like I could have just blended this out very easily and done my whole face with this. So now I'm gonna try and fix this and try and get it onto the other side without one side looking thicker or fuller coverage than the other. So I'm just going to try and see if I can move it around. But it's covered up any kind of redness that I had around my nose. It's covered up pretty much all of my freckles, especially on the side that I went really, really heavy on. But I actually prefer this side, which has not as much product on the sponge. But I'm just going to do my best to try and blend it out as much as I can. I think this is as good as I'm going to get and get it as even as possible. I can definitely see a few of my little freckly areas kind of peeking through, but overall I feel like we've got it as even as possible. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see exactly how my skin is looking. So this is the side where I had to kind of like even things out. It looks pretty much flawless, if I say. I've got like a little spot here, it's fully covered it up. Seeing as I have a lighter shade, I'm just going to go ahead and put that underneath my eyes, and I'm just going to use it as concealer, and instantly it is like brightened that area to the point where like my like dark circles have fully gone. I'm going to do the same to the other eye. I actually really like that as concealer. And if you're wondering, the lighter shade that I've used is medium 27 underneath my eyes. And I'm also just going to apply that to the other areas that I like to brighten my face, like my forehead and my chin. So this is what it's looking like further away. And I genuinely think this looks obviously very full coverage, but very even on my skin. If you guys have been watching any of my recent videos or follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've been loving very lightweight, really natural coverage in general for foundations. I've been using a lot of tinted moisturizers and things like that recently. I've been really loving like the light coverage life, but this makes me want to fall in love with full coverage foundation all over again. This for me isn't like an everyday face. This for me would be like something for an event or for a special occasion. I would wear a foundation like this, but I love the way that it is looking on my skin. I love what it looks like close up. It's definitely helped like smooth my skin out. I can't really see any pores. As I've gotten older, I do have a lot more pores on my cheeks, especially this kind of area. But this foundation has definitely helped to like smooth them out. The color match is pretty good. I mean, if I was to be sitting back, it's a pretty decent color match. I think it's slightly on the yellow side, but it's okay. I feel like once I've got my bronzer and all of my makeup on, everything will even out. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with the way that it looks. So now I'm very quickly going to put the rest of my makeup on. And as always, I will leave a full list of all of the products that I'm using in the description box below. But I'm gonna whiz past this very quickly, and then we can go on to the wear test. So the rest of my makeup is all done. I just thought I'd give you a quick rundown of how I felt like my other makeup sat on top. So I've got a little bit of creasing underneath my eyes where I applied that lighter shade, even though that I have set it. So I don't know whether or not this will kind of sit into any fine lines that I have. I've been getting a lot more fine lines kind of like on the out parts of my eyes and definitely underneath my eyes as well. In terms of the application of the foundation and like anywhere that I've set it, it doesn't look super like thick or heavy or cakey, which I love, even though it is really full coverage. Yesterday when I applied it with the brush, I felt like it was very heavy around my mouth, like it looked thick. Whereas with the Damp Beauty Blender, I don't see that. Obviously you can tell and see that I've got foundation on my skin because it is like a full coverage foundation. And I think with the world of like social media that we live on, everything is so filtered that you almost think that makeup doesn't look like you've got anything on your skin when actually like it looks like you have makeup on your skin, if you know what I mean. So you can tell that I have product on my face, but it doesn't feel thick or heavy or like cakey on the skin, which I really like. It's kind of picking up a little bit of texture around my forehead, but I'm not mad at it. It's not something that's making me want to like bin the foundation. My skin still looks and feels like fresh and airy, and it's still got like a natural kind of, I'd say kind of like a satiny finish. I wouldn't say that it's completely matte. I really love the way that it really evened out my skin. My bronzer that I used was a cream bronzer first because I wanted to see how it applies, and because this is a cream kind of balmy foundation, it blended in beautifully. All of the powders that I've added on top have blended in really beautifully as well. Yeah, I feel like currently I don't really have any complaints. When I wore this foundation for the first time, I didn't really keep it on for that long and I wasn't really paying attention to it. So today I'm going to be taking you along my day and kind of checking in with you every few hours to let you know my honest thoughts on it. I don't actually know whether this has got an SPF in it. I kind of feel like it doesn't have an SPF in it, and it's quite sunny outside and I didn't put an SPF on today. No, I did put an SPF on this morning, but I didn't put an SPF on like anytime recently. So yeah, that's the one thing that it doesn't have, SPF. I will leave links to all of the products that I've used, and of course this foundation as well, in the description box below. But yeah, so far it's full coverage, but it's beautiful. It is almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I've had a bit of a late start for today because I was doing a like cake masterclass thing, which was really cool. So yeah, I'm going to be checking in with you guys for the next, I want to say 8 hours or so, and I will try and check in every 2 hours and let you guys know my thoughts and how this is performing, and bearing in mind it is a hot day. I feel like some of the TikToks and videos that I've seen, it might not be oily skin friendly. However, my skin is very normal to combination. It can get oily in the T-zone every now and again, and it genuinely just depends on like what I've been eating or the weather. But I would have to say recently my skin has been more on the normal side. Let me give you another little close-up very quickly. This is how my forehead is looking. You can kind of see a little bit of texture in here, but looks so flawless. And then this is kind of like around my mouth. This is the area that I really didn't like when I first applied it with the brush, but with a beauty blender it's much better. And I obviously put a little bit too much on this side, but I think next time when I apply it, I'd probably get more of an even kind of run to it. But yeah, this is what my skin is looking like. As you can see, everything's blended really nicely into my skin as well. So far, I'm very happy. So I guess I will see you guys all in 2 hours to let you know how this foundation is holding up. I'm gonna get going and I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, so it's officially been 2 hours since I've had my face on and it looks pretty the same. There's not much difference in it. There's just a little bit of creasing going on under my eyes, which, I mean, I didn't use concealer or anything, and my mascara has slightly gone onto it, but other than that, I've had lunch. I haven't really been touching my face as much as I usually do, but it hasn't really come off anywhere. I mean, it might have come off a little bit on my chin. It does feel very soft on my face, but so I've not put any setting spray or anything on to my face, and I don't know how well this is going to last. I do see like a little bit of oil coming through in certain areas, but it's not crazy oily. I feel like I can see it here more than anywhere. Let me zoom you in. Right here is where I feel like I can see the oil coming through, and also a little bit on my forehead there. This is what this kind of area is looking like. Oh, hello, what's that? Oh. As you can see, it looks a little bit oily in some areas. I feel like it's come off quite a bit on my nose. It looks like it on camera, but in real life, it doesn't actually look that bad. But yeah, this is my 2 hour check-in. So far, so good. I still love the way that my skin is looking. It does look full coverage, but it doesn't feel full coverage. It doesn't like look too heavy or cakey on the skin. But yeah, so far, so good. Still got a few more check-ins left before I can end this video. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it lasts. But I'll see you guys all in my second check-in. So I'm back in with my second check-in. It has been 4 hours since I've been wearing this foundation, and it's holding up pretty nicely, although I feel like my skin looks quite oily. It's starting to look oily in certain areas. Let me zoom you in. As you can see, my pores are looking a bit more visible. My lipstick has stayed on. My gloss has stayed on pretty nicely. But you can see here, it's just a little bit on the oilier end, and my under eyes are definitely creasing. But overall, if you're not looking super close onto my face, the base actually looks really nice still. I don't think this is something that's going to last like all day and all night. Bearing in mind I haven't put a setting spray on. I'm pretty sure with a setting spray and setting my face fully really nicely, it would make it last a lot longer. But overall, I think there's a little bit missing here where I've been touching my face. But it is a very creamy foundation, so I kind of guessed that that might happen. But yeah, other than that, it's still looking pretty decent. Yeah, so far so good. It's going to be interesting to see how the next 4 hours goes. Oh my god, Tupac needs a wee. He basically rings the bell anytime he needs to go outside for a wee. But before I take him out, I thought I'd just let you know that I'm very interested to see what the next 4 hours looks like, because I kind of feel like it might get oilier as the day goes on, but let's see. It's check-in number 3. It's 7 o'clock and we went for a walk and I put some glasses on and I'm literally looking at the mirror for the first time. And I wanted to see if, yeah, the foundation has kind of come off where my glasses were, which is a shame, because I thought this would probably last a little bit longer than that. It's a little bit cakey looking around my mouth at the moment, and it's been 6 hours since I put this on. My oil is definitely coming through. I can kind of see oil in this kind of area and still around my nose. It's not coming through in any other areas. Let me see what it's looking like. I don't feel like it's come off that much, but I can definitely see, let me show you. My pores are definitely a lot more visible. The creasing is pretty there. But I feel like the rest of my foundation still looks pretty decent. I feel like it's come off a little bit here. A lot of the comments in the video that I posted on my Instagram, loads of people are saying that it's not really good for oily skin. Now, I don't have oily skin. My skin's very normal to combination and it seems to be lasting pretty nice. I can't really say I've got like major complaints, only just like the little bit of oil that's coming through here and like the creasing underneath my eyes, which is totally my fault. I didn't put a concealer on there. But other than that, the rest of it looks pretty nice. Oh, I totally forgot to do a flash test. So I will post a picture up on the screen right here of what this looks like in flash photography using my iPhone. So yeah, that's my thoughts so far. I've got one more check-in left and so far, so good. Not any crazy complaints, just looking a little bit cakey. Not even cakey, but just it's kind of bunching up in this kind of area. And I mean, I haven't really touched my face, but it seems to be lasting okay. I don't know whether it's because of the like primer that I've used, but yeah, so far so good. And that's that for now, and I will see you in my last check-in. It's officially 9:30, so it's been a full 8.5 hours since I've worn this foundation, and it is the last check-in of the day. And I feel like it's not that much different to the last check-in, apart from there's just a little bit more oil on my T-zone. Like I said, my skin is very normal to combination. It can be combination at random times of the year. Today was quite warm, but yeah, I feel like it's lasted pretty well. I don't think, I mean, okay, it's come off in this area where I've been like touching my face, and it's kind of around everywhere. I think I even went like this to like clean my like mouth when I was eating, but I feel like there's still a bit of foundation going on. Let's zoom you in. Yeah, there's still a decent amount of foundation on my skin. It's just kind of this area where I feel like the oil, here you can see this sunglasses mark way better than earlier, where it's come off completely. My forehead is looking a little bit oily, but I mean, if I go like this, it's like soaks up already. I've tried not to touch my face, but yeah, this is what I'm left with. And I think my overall thoughts are, I would probably wear this foundation when I want to take like a nice picture, I think, for my makeup, but I don't know whether I would wear it for like an event. If I do, I'll have to make sure that I'm wearing like setting spray and priming my skin really nicely before I do anything, because I wouldn't want it to slide off. But it does look really beautiful in photos, so maybe I feel like I just need to play around with it and try and get it to the point where with setting sprays and the right primers and all of that, it just lasts a lot longer. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I feel like it hasn't really moved around apart from like my nose area. That's the only kind of bit that is like troubling. I feel like if I go like this, it'll probably take off. Yeah, it's like taking off the foundation in that area. But yeah, other than that, I don't have that many complaints. It's not really looking any more or less cakey or anything like that. And my skin still looks relatively like fresh and healthy, but still with that full coverage on it. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and this is the end of the 8-hour wear test for the Good Apple foundation. I will leave all the details of all the makeup and everything that I'm wearing as always in the description box. Please let me know what foundation you want me to test out next. I really want to get my hands on the new Fenty skin tint, which looks really, really cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all the social medias. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will hopefully see you all in my next video. Bye!